Hi everybody, here's how to run your collision cart interactive. I'm looking at elastic collisions, that's for lab number 1. Inelastic are for lab number 2 down here, and explosion is lab number 3. So that's how you find the right one for the right lab. Here is where I can change the mass of the cart, and the number is right here. I can record that number in my lab. The initial velocity, I can have a positive number. That means the cart is going to go to the right. If I have a negative number, it's going to go to the left. I'll prove it to you. Here we go. It's going to go to the right. Or I can give it a negative number. It's going to go to the left. So the basic thing you're supposed to do for lab number 1 is change the mass to have it be different amounts. And then you're going to have the blue car at rest, and the red car is going to bash into it, going 5 meters per second. Or I think you get to pick, but the blue car needs to be rest. Here's what you would do afterwards. Notice the mass is the same. Okay, these two things, their mass didn't change. They didn't break up, fall apart, blow up, or get heavier. But their velocities changed after the collision. I can play it again, right? I can reset it and play it again for you. First it's 5 and 0. Now it's 2.5 and 7.5. Both positive, both going to the right. Those are my velocities after the collision. So I had my velocities before on the scales down here. I had my masses, which stayed the same right here. And I had my final velocities in the simulation. For inelastic collision, once they collide, they stick together. So they are now one object. They have a different velocity because they have than the last example. They had 3.8 meters per second each because they have 3 plus 1 kilogram for their total mass. So they have an added together mass after the collision, and they share the same velocity. And lastly, in explosion, they start with 3 plus 1 together, right? They have a total mass of 4 in this example. Initial velocity 0, and blammo! Afterwards, they're 3 and 1, 2 separate masses. One moving to the left, negative 3.3 meters per second. One to the right. That's how you use the simulation, and an example of each.